Yeah, man. So again, it's your boy Alfred, and welcome back to Wakati Avenue. And today's topic is on purpose. And I'm here to remind you that without a purpose, you really cannot get far. And that's even if you have money. Now, I see a lot of youngins and a lot of other people, right? They started to complaining about life in general, complaining about women, relationships, the dynamics of that. Even though they're well off, they got the money, they got the job, yeah. And seemingly they don't know that actually money is nothing but a facilitator. Money facilitates things. Money facilitates situations. Money does not work if you don't work. It's not shortcut, and that's a big problem. Most people think that money is a shortcut to getting where you want to go or to get what you want. Yeah, of course, you will get a majority of things that you want, obviously. But that will only get you, money can only mostly get you surface level stuff. Anything that you want, but that will be surface level. Now, if you've not gone through the basics, if you've not worked through the things you're supposed to work through in your life, then I'm sorry to tell you, but money won't do that for you. And so, at least having a purpose, right, then that will get you somewhere. Because and I think this is the reason a lot of people try to undermine purpose and avoid purpose, because there's work that you have to do, and that work mostly is a reflection. You have to contemplate on yourself. You have to look inside yourself so that you know, or try and get to know yourself, so you can get to know where you're going. So the essence of it is that people try to get money for shortcuts, to just cut corners. You cannot do that. Purpose wise, once you learn your purpose, which you have to as a man, your purpose will always be tied to the things you like doing, even if they're hard, especially the hard stuff. However, purpose is deep. Purpose goes deep, and that's the big problem. People don't want to go deep enough to understand themselves, so they either copy whatever or whoever looks successful or seems successful or seems confident, and think by copying and emulating that person is enough. You may do that, but that won't work. It's not sustainable, because that's not you. He's not you. He has those things because he probably deserves them, or he knows how to maintain them and handle them, and probably has worked on himself, right? So you cannot now go and get the same thing or dress the same way someone who's successful, right, and then think that you'll be okay. It doesn't work that way. Especially if these things do not resonate with you. They're not you. It's not who you are. And I'm sorry to tell you, but money cannot buy that. Money cannot do that for you. You have to go deep inside. Majority of the time, I don't like talking about this, but it's a spiritual thing. I don't like talking about spiritual things, because spiritual thing is an individualistic thing. Anything that's spiritual is really up to you. You can get a shaman, you can get an imam, a priest to help you out, no problem with that. But the essence of the spirit is you. It's who you are meant to be. So you have to know the things that you have that can resonate with your spirit. It's a journey in itself, and you cannot really, if you feel empty and a void, then you cannot really avoid that. You cannot avoid looking deep inside. Now, however you define spirit, however you define your essence, is really up to you. Of course, your experiences and your life experiences especially, and who you are, what you've gone through, will define, you'll be able to define that yourself on your own. Of course, you need help at times. Anyone can help you who you think has matured enough to help you. Don't just go to anyone, just anyone that sounds good. And that's another thing that I have to warn about, especially men out there. if you're serious about growing and maturing into the best version of yourself and working on your purpose. Don't just listen to someone who sounds good or looks good. Right? A lot of people are charlatans. Now, I'm not going off on anyone here, but the majority of people want to take advantage. There are sharks out there. Right? You're better off someone who's telling you out straight that, listen, I'm all about the business. I'm all about money. We can do this. I'm all about money. Instead of someone who's tries to make it as if he's helping you. Most the majority of time, people who pretend to be helping you and they know this, they know you more than you know yourself, they're charlatans. They're gonna sell you snake oil, right? Things that do not exist, and they're gonna put in your brain or in your mind things that are delusional and illusional, and they're going to get you further and further away from your path and especially your purpose, and you don't want that, right? Excuse me. So, your purpose, work on that. Work on the things that you like. Work on the things that bring you a sort of fulfillment. Now, as the way goes, man, you still need to live. I understand. You still have to make a living. You still have to create a life, right? Sometimes your purpose or whatever you're endeavoring into does not bring that. Do not pay the bills, basically. Do not pay the bills. Do not bring money to the bank and stuff like that, right? This is where, as a man, you have to do something about it. You have to create solutions. Get a job, right? I always say, man, there's really nothing wrong with getting a job as long as you're not too comfortable on that job and you're still working on the side on your purpose, right? Or on a side hustle. And that's if you know that, okay, you're not going to work a job for the rest of your life. You still have to work on your side hustle, on whatever that you think that you can grow with and that can bring you money eventually, right? Whether it's your purpose or it's something that's fulfilling or not, you still have to have something on the side that can bring you money and eventually give you that freedom away from employment. We all want that freedom away from employment, eventually at least. Now, it's for how long are you going to get employed? That's really up to you, right? You're the one who knows. You're the one who knows that now I'm ready. Can you get employed for 1 year? There's plenty of stories, man. People get employed. Some people never get employed. People get employed for 10 years, 20 years, then they bail out and go out there and do their own thing. But be careful, right? You don't just jump the ship without being prepared. Still some devastating stories out there, people quitting their job to go after their purpose or their dream only to fail. And then they're out of a job, they lose their houses and lose everything. So you have to be smart about that and be careful about it. That's why I always say, keep your day job, man, until you're ready, right? Until you're ready to move on, until you've grown enough, right? You've got traction on your business. You've got enough investment. Do that. But the gist of it is, the main thing is your purpose, man. Your purpose won't only keep you on the path, right? You are not going to lose your path, but your purpose will keep you stable. I see a lot of people, like I said, man, a lot of people do have the money, but they're not stable, they're not sane. Things are going haywire for them. And like I said, man, money may not really bring the stability in your life. You still need proper basic knowledge of things, right? You still need proper knowledge of and information about the self, right? And really, it's a journey. It's a journey. Life in itself is a journey. And so since it's a journey, that you are the one who walks that journey, right? You should remember that the resources that you have are what are there to keep you going. So the resources, whether it's money, whether it's the tech that you have, the tools that you have, the transport that you have, are things that are supposed to get you going. Now the big problem is that once a lot of people do get the money, do get the tools, it hits their ego. It hits their ego. Now they think that they've got they've got one up on you, right? So when the ego now leads instead of reason, that's when you have problems. And I'm seeing this to a lot of youngins and just people in general, right? They have success in society's standards, right? Everyone, you should have your own standard of success, your own. You should have your own knowledge of what success is, right? And this is because, like I said, a lot of people, once they succeed in society's standards, that's when ego hits. They're now led by ego instead of reason and logic. That's why it's easy for them to get lost from their path, because they're now going to attract people who are going to use that against them. It's easy for someone to use your ego against you. Very easy. Because they know exactly what button to push. They know you very well because you're led by ego, not reason or logic. And trust me, people who know these things can spot you from a mile away and know how to get to you. People are smart like that. However, like I usually preach, self-mastery will get you out of this. Purpose will also get you far from this, because your purpose does not allow you to be led by ego. In fact, once you have a purpose, proper purpose, you are going to be very humble, because when you're on a path, it's a humbling experience. Someone on his path, someone who's working to the best version of himself, is humbled. Many times. You're humbled. You can't afford to be led by ego. You only can have a very healthy ego. Now, all men have egos, no doubt, right? But if you were the type who has an unhealthy ego, an ego that surpasses your logic and reason, and then suppresses your rational reasoning, then you will have a problem, because that's what leads you. You won't have the capability of rationalizing things or having the ration to think things out clearly, and also you will not have. You're going to really not be logical, and that sense will be out the door, and that's what ego does. That's what it does. You only want things to make sense the way you want them to be, and unfortunately, reality does not work that way. So it's happening to a lot of people, and then they use money to try and force their own reality. So it means that they're only soothing their ego. It doesn't work. Reality does not work that way, and life does not work that way. And that sort of life is not sustainable. And that's why a lot of people in the future are going to go crazy. They're going to go insane, because they do not want to let go of their egos, and do not believe that there are some things that they have to work on. Because one thing your ego also tricks you on is that you are sort of flawless. Now, if you think you're flawless, and then especially because, of course, the thing what that happens is that you feel you're exalted. You exalt yourself above people. Now, there's no problem you like feeling good about yourself, having self-esteem, and really feeling good about your accomplishments, right? It's really not. In fact, people should feel that way, confident about yourself. But then, if you exalt yourself, especially for no reason that you have certain things or you have achieved things that you think is way too unique and people cannot achieve that, when in actual fact the people who can do that When that happens, reality comes and your ego gets deflated. So basically I'm talking about people who have an inflated ego, right? And in turn using money to continuously and perpetuate this inflation of their ego. And then when that does not work, guess what happens, right? People come to your life who are going to do that just to get something from you. When that happens, your whole life goes down because reality kicks in slowly but surely, and then all of a sudden you realize, shit, man, this does not work. This is not for me. This is not me. This is not reality. You get a reality check. But purpose does not allow that. Get back to purpose. Purpose does not allow ego to take you to take the forefront of your navigation on your path. It does not allow that. And that's because when you're on your purpose, first of all, you have to be in reality. And secondly, when you're on your purpose, you are doing something that's practical. You're going to fail. Remember, ego does not allow you to fail because you're exalting yourself. Or even if you fail, it will lie to you because you'll have people surrounding you who are exalting you, or you just lie to yourself. That's what ego does. But purpose does not allow that. Purpose is about reality. It tells you how it is. It tells you that you have failed. It tells you that you cannot do something, but it tells you can do something about anything that you want to do or accomplish or get to. And it takes work. Once you put on that work, that's when reality kicks in and you're like, I thought this was a hill, but it's a mountain. But as a man on his purpose, whether it's a mountain, whether it's a hill, you have to climb it. You have no choice. It's your hill. And it's the challenges of the world. And I think I've said enough. 17 minutes on the clock. It's been your boy Alfred. And remember, your purpose will get you stable, to get you slowly but surely where you want to go on your path. And money is good. I'm not the type who's going to say money is the root of all evil. Hell no. Money is fantastic, but it's a tool to get you somewhere, get you to a place that you want to be. With that said, man, it's been your boy Alfred. Peace.